Hello everyone, you are welcome to the Tailor's Hub. Alright, so in this video I'll be showing you how I made this baby girl's dress. Although the one I made is a little different from this, I mixed my plain material with lace and there are no buttons. Alright, so if this is your first time here, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on your notification so you know when a new video is uploaded. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Bye. So, like I told you earlier in this video, I'll be showing you how to make that baby girl's style. So these are the materials that we'll be needing for the style. Alright, so I would like to use, it's a little different from the original style. So the lace for the upper part, and then the first layer of pleating just at the front that sits in between the darts at the front. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so as you can see, we're going to cut the back first. So I've folded the back, and this is the zip allowance. If you can see, this is 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. And the measurements that we'll be needing is the length of the dress, which is somewhere below the knee. The length of this particular dress is 35. Then her half length, that's from her shoulder to above her navel, is 12.5. Okay, so her back, bust, waist, sleeve width and sleeve length. So we'll get there as we go on. So the first thing to do is to measure her back. Her back is her shoulder to her shoulder is 13. Add half inch. Alright, so her back is 13 inches into 2 gives 6.5 inches, and then I added half inch. Okay, so from there I take out 1 inch from the shoulder. At the end of this shoulder I take out 1 inch because it's going to be slanted. Okay, I measure our armhole length. Armhole length for this particular girl is 7.5. all right, so right under her armhole I'll place it here and measure her bust. Okay, her bust is 32. If I have 32 into 4, that's 8 inches. 32 into 4 is 8 inches. Okay, so I go ahead and add the zip, the allowance, the sewing allowance. Okay, so our waist is 30.5. If you divide 30.5 into 2 to give you 7.75 rather. Okay, so we have this. Then add 1 inch as the dart allowance, then 1.5 inches as the sewing allowance. Then you connect. You can see how you really know that it's for a child. It's not giving the shape, the regular shape of a lady's dress. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. So for the width of the neck, you notice that it has a collar. And if you don't want it to be too wide, for this girl, the width should not be more than 4 inches, which is 2 when you divide it into 2. That's for the width. And because this is the back, I'm just going to take out half inch. Okay. Then from that point, I connect it to the end of the shoulder, as you can see here. Then draw a line. For easy comprehension, I like to tell beginners that if you want to draw your armhole, just draw L. Draw L, the L. Then at this angle here, about 1.5 inches up or 2 inches up, then 2 inches down, draw an arc. Okay. Then you have your armpits. That's the armhole. It's as simple as ABC. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut it. So now, to cut that front part, okay, ensure to notch the center and the point where you are going to add your zip. To cut that, what's it called, the front part, I don't know whether you notice that the overlapping is sitting right on the width of the dart, the distance between the two darts. Okay, so now the distance between the darts for this dress, for this girl's dress, is 3.5. I'm going to make her dart 4 inches, the width 4 inches. By the time I take out the half, it comes back to 3.5. Okay, so you make this extra layer of fabric at the front, which is going to overlap. Okay, the reason why I cut the back first is so it will enable me to use it to cut the front part. Okay, so the distance between these two is 3.5 inches, as you can see. All right, so first of all, cut it out. Now go ahead and mark the notch, the darts, notch the center. Okay, that's about that. Now the next thing we are going to do, like I told you earlier, the allowance I added to this center front, to this front part, is 3.5 inches. Okay, so I've gotten the center now. This is the center that I have ruled a straight line. You can use a tailoring ruler if you have one. You know, I'm used to doing this. So rule a straight line. If you are not unable to rule a straight line with a freehand cutting like this, use a ruler. All right, so the width of the neck, like I told you earlier, is 2 inches. 2 inches. So depending on how deep you want the v-neck to be, I don't want it to be too deep because she's a child. I don't even want her to wear a camisole under. I want her to be able to wear it like that. So I want the neckline, I'll make it 5.5 inches. Can you see my tape? 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. This is 5.5 inches here. Okay, so what's it called? Draw your neckline. This is my neckline. This is the v-neck. Then from this point, connect it to the end of the overlapping. Can you see it? From this point, don't just go and start ruling, bam. The neck may be too wide or too deep. First, get your neckline first. Then from the end of the neckline, connect it down. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, so that's about that. So you go ahead and cut out your, okay, we have it. Can you see it? So I'll go ahead now and cut the lace, because it's going to have lace. I'm going to cut out the lace. The lace is the body, is also a part of the flare. Then this is a doll face satin. The doll face satin will be the collar, and of course the belt. I have not decided whether I want a bow yet or not, but I may add, and if I don't add a bow, I'll just add a nice big belt that she can tie. All right, so let's go ahead and cut the lace. So this is the flare for the bottom part. So like I told you, I'm going to put the lace at the front, just at that front part where there is a button. But instead of that button, I'm just going to add the lace there. That's how I want to do it. Okay, so now I have notched the point where this is the the dots with the in between the two dots. Okay, and I have notched it. All right, so this is what I'm going to fold it. Look at this. If I fold it, this is the way it's going to be when I fold it, the two sides. All right, so the lace is going to start from here. So I have measured it, so trace it down. Okay, you know the bottom, the down part is going to be a little wider than it. All right, so now I place the lace on it. Okay, so place the lace on it. Or you place it on the lace, either way is fine. I place it on the lace or place the lace on it. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to cut out that point. In case you want to copy it like me, you want to do this particular style the way I decided to do mine. Mind you, this is a customer's order, a client requested for a dress for her daughter, and I chose this style. So here is it. Okay, so to get the points, you can notch this place, because you can notch it here like this. I have notched it. You can notch this, the lace. As you can see, I have notched it down. I have notched it. So I'll go ahead and cut the bottom part as well. Ensure that it is equal. Okay. So when I get to that place I marked, I'm going to notch it as well. Or from this point, just carry it like this. Like this, and cut it out. So that's about that. Let me show you how it's going to look on the flare. Let me show you how it's going to be. So let me notch this place too. Notch this place too. Okay. Okay, so spread it out. So here is it. You can use your office pin. You use pin to hold it down. Okay, that's about that. Okay, here is it. So we're going to cut the lining now. The way I cut the flare, the way I cut the lining for the flare is how I'm going to cut the lining too, and also for the other ones. Then let's go ahead, join it. Then I'll come back to show you how we're going to do the sleeve, the belt, the collar, and the rest of it. All right, see you. So I thought to show you that I'd already cut it, you know, before I remember that. Okay, so this is the sleeve. You know, just folded the flare, the pieces that was from the flare from the bottom part is what I used to cut this. I just measured the length, then cut it out. All right. Okay, so this is the sleeve. This is the sleeve. All right, guys, so here we are. I've added all the necessary dots, joined the shoulder, both of them, clothes itself, and of course the lining. All right, so the next thing to do now is to measure. We're going to measure this neckline, this front, all the way to the back. When I measure one, it's fine. The measurement of one goes I'll double it, then we'll use it for the two. So now let's see what is here from this waistline all to the neck. Okay, then turn it to the back. This is 19 inches. Okay, so we cut our collar with that particular measurement. All right, so the next thing to cut now is our collar. Okay, so the length of the collar, sorry, is 19 inches. So you measure 19 inches. This is 19 inches without any allowance, or I can decide to add a little to it. All right, so now you come. This is 19. Inches. Then curve it this way. Okay, so you cut. The width will be 2.5 inches, but because I'm going to split it here and also split it here, so by the time I take in half here and half on this other side, it comes down to 2.5. So I'm going to measure 3.5 inches round. Okay, 3.5 inches round. So that's about that. Then let's go ahead and cut it. Okay, so you go ahead and separate it. Remember, this is the collar for both. Okay, so here is our collar. So the next thing we're going to do now is to add stay. We add stay to the collar, then we'll come back and join it. All right, so I like to show you how to attach the collar, okay, to it. So I'm going to leave ½ inch allowance. I'm going to fold in here, so it should sit on the joining this way. Okay, so by the time I turn it in here, it still comes down to sit on the joining. All right, so we start from there. Then I use the lining and turn it in. Okay, lining. All right, okay, so let's go ahead and do the other side of it. All right, guys, so here is it. Now these are the two sides of the. So the next thing to do now, two sides of the upper bodies, all right, is to assemble it together. Let's assemble it together. All right, so remember we notched the center here, so all you need to do is to place this notching on the other side of the notching. Okay, place the notching. This is it. Let it be equal. Let it sit on each other. All right, so that's about that. Okay, so we go ahead, add the bottom part and then the sleeves. Okay, well then that will be about it. So we add the bottom part, put the necessary pleating. Meanwhile, I decided to add belts like I told you earlier. I decided to put belt. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the